art for yourself.
With all the power from the tower, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio, from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
From the VON Newsline, this is the VON Major Newscast.
Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the first day of January 2019. I'm Marcellus Lee in with the VON's Major News Package. In our lead stories nationally, Nevis' financial services sector facing significant challenges and too short on New Year's Day here in Nevis. Welcome back. Originally, Guyana government awaits ruling from Speaker of the House on no confidence motion. Internationally, Kim Jong-un warns of change in direction in denuclearization in New Year's address. And in sports, India wins third test for 2-1 series lead over Australia. We'll have details of these and other stories after this break.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's powerhouse.
Wrong.
Welcome back, and now for the news in detail. Nevis will face a major challenge in the new year, and that is more and more U.S. and European banks are cutting ties with banks in the Caribbean. This threatens to impact several critical services, including remittance transfers, international trade, and the facilitation of credit card settlements for local clients. At least 9 Caribbean banks have lost access to U.S. correspondent accounts as a result of de-risking. De-risking is the practice of global financial institutions terminating or restricting business relationships with remittance companies and smaller local banks in certain regions of the world. Speaking in the Nevis Island Assembly on Friday, December the 28th, Premier and Minister of Finance, Mark Brantley, said what this means is that the country's financial system could be cut off from the international financial system.
All of a sudden, what you took for granted and what I took for granted, that we can go into any bank and send money to our son or daughter studying abroad, send money to buy our goods. All these young people like to shop online and all of that. Easy. Put your credit card in, tell them ship it to some mailbox. Mr. President, all of that can come to a screeching halt. All of a sudden, the tourists that we depend on to come here and stay at the hotels, they can't use a credit card here because the credit card is issued by a bank in New York.
According to Premier Brantley, this represents an existential threat to the existence of the people of these Halcyon Isles.
These things are calculated, if not arrested, to ensure that we can never achieve our sustainable development goals. And that, Mr. President, is why we have to be here today. Because the risk of doing nothing is far too great. And even though we are not sure that what we're doing is enough, we are optimistic that the effort being made here today will ensure that we meet the December 31st deadline imposed by Brussels on us, and that Brussels would have at least the conscience to say that they've responded in good faith, even though we have not told them what is wrong. And by responding in good faith, they have met our concerns.
That's Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mark Brantley. New Year celebrations here in St. Kitts and Nevis were marred by the shooting of 2 young men here on Nevis. At about 6 a.m. today, January 1st, 2019, gunshots rang out in the Stony Grove area. Reports revealed that 2 young men, Jelani Liebert and Kieran Moore of Ramsbury site, were shot by unknown assailant or assailants. The 2 were rushed to the Alexandria Hospital, where Moore immediately underwent surgery for the injuries he received, while Liebert was warded in the intensive care unit, the ICU. Both men are listed as being in critical condition. Investigations into the incident are ongoing, and the VON Newsline will bring you more details on this story as it unfolds. In an address to the nation to mark the new year, Prime Minister and Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris, reiterated his Team Unity's government's commitment towards improving the infrastructure in the Twin Island nation. The Prime Minister explained that there were a number of projects that his administration started in 2018 and will be continued in 2019.
The continuation of the resurfacing of our Island Main Road, the completion of community roads in Molyneux, Lodge Project, Keon, Sandy Point, and Challenges, to name a few, will continue. We will continue to invest in the socio-economic infrastructure of the country. The Old Road Bay Rehabilitation and Expansion Project will get started as part of our commitment to rebuild that road in a more resilient way. We anticipate further improvement in our security infrastructure, to wit, the construction of the Sandy Point Police Station, the completion of our Coast Guard, the Customs Annex building, and the widely anticipated Bastille High School.
Prime Minister Harris further outlined the various features of the new Bastille High School.
Our investment in the Bastille High School, with its model learning spaces, its lab, its emphasis on science, technology, maths, engineering, music and arts, comes from personal experiences and knowledge of the transformative role of education. Education is the key to opening new paths for everyone, and for doing so at every stage of their lives. Those who since 2012 failed the students and staff of Bastille High School will not be allowed in 2019 to deny our students and teachers the best of their future.
That's Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. The new state-of-the-art Bastille High School will be constructed at Ponds Extension in East Bastille on approximately 14 acres of land. The Nevis Island administration will in the new year continue to provide new and affordable homes for the people of Nevis. The Concerned Citizens Movement government is looking towards constructing some 72 additional homes on the island. This was disclosed by Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, in his New Year's address. He explained that projects will continue in various communities on the island.
The construction of these homes will be distributed as follows. In Low Ground Estate, Cherry Gardens area, 6 houses. In the Hamilton Estate area, 18 houses. In the Spring Hill Estate, University Heights, 16 houses. In the Maddens Estate, Cedarview, 32 houses.
That's Premier Minister of Finance, the Honorable Mark Brantley. And officials from various agencies of the government will be working closely with individuals enrolled in the Poverty Alleviation Program, PAP, to ensure that their economic condition is improved and the quality of life of the household is enhanced. The PAP was officially launched on Monday, December the 24th, 2018, and provides households earning less than $3,000 per month with a monthly stipend of $500. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Community Development, Gender Affairs and Social Services, Janelle Louis Tafari, said the case management also involves helping persons to find jobs where applicable so that they will be in a better position to support their family. The Permanent Secretary urged beneficiaries to be open and honest with the case officers and to give their full cooperation. That's the Poverty Alleviation Program, PAP, is funded from the government treasury, and Mrs. Louis Tafari stressed that all parties involved share a burden of responsibility to ensure that the $500 stipend is used to uplift the lives of citizens and residents in a wholesome way. And Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, takes over the chairmanship of the Caribbean Community CARICOM as of today, January 1st, 2019. He takes over the chairmanship from Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness. In his New Year's message to the community, Dr. Harris says 2019 will be the year to combat chronic non-communicable diseases, NCDs, in the region. He added that at the core of the region's thrust for growth and development is a well-educated and healthy workforce. He said chronic NCDs is a threat to the region's sustainable development, a concern highlighted at a meeting at the United Nations earlier in the year. Dr. Harris also said that 2019 will be the final year of the region's 5-year strategic plan, and preparations have already begun for the second plan, which will build on the accomplishments of its predecessor. The Caribbean Community CARICOM is a grouping of 20 countries, 15 member states, and 5 associate members, and is home to some 16 million citizens. And the government of St. Kitts and Nevis joins the regional and international community in congratulating Cuba on its National Day, which is being celebrated today, Tuesday, January 1st, 2018. This also marks the 60th anniversary of the Cuban Revolution. A ceremony was held on Thursday, December 27th at Port Zante and was attended by His Excellency the Governor General, Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, along with a number of government officials and resident ambassador of the Republic of Cuba, His Excellency Abelardo Fabio Hernandez Ferrer. Senior Minister Vance Amory, that's the Honorable Vance Amory, extended congratulations to the President, government and people of the Republic of Cuba on their anniversary, and said that St. Kitts and Nevis is honored to be a diplomatic ally of the Republic of Cuba. In his address to the gathering, Ambassador Hernandez said the 60th anniversary of the revolution ended with the victory of the independence struggles that the father of the nation, Carlos Manuel de Céspedes, initiated by giving his slaves freedom to fight for Cuban independence from the colonialist yoke, and concluded with the entry into Havana of the triumphant rebel army led by Commander-in-Chief Fidel Castro. The Republic of Cuba and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis established diplomatic ties on May 10, 1995. More than 100 specialists in St. Kitts and Nevis have studied in Cuba in the field of health, as well as engineers and teachers. And finally, in our national segment, several persons have been charged and more are expected as a result of investigations into a number of incidents that occurred on St. Kitts during Juve on December 26, 2018. To date, 6 persons have been charged for the offenses of wounding with intent. They are Sylvester Crossley, Crispin Crossley, and Vidal Wilkinson, all of McKnight, as well as Neon Descent of New Road, Keshon Richen of Sandong Road, and Ahijay Quilly of Old Road. They have all been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until the bail hearing on January 4, 2019. According to a police report, another 20 persons have been informed that they will receive summons for offenses such as disorderly conduct, throwing missiles and being armed with an offensive weapon, and others were discharged pending further investigations. It says some of the persons taken into police custody on December 26th were held to prevent breaches of the peace. And that's it for the national segment. You could visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio and our Von Radio YouTube channel. News from across the region is next.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It really is. Come and let the Bank of Nevis Limited improve your quality of life this Christmas. Take an unsecured loan of up to $20,000. Ho, 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 ho. That's not all. Take advantage of our flexible loan term options. It's Christmas and it's time to be merry. Contact us today at 1-869-469-5564 or Facebook, Instagram, or visit our bank today. It's the Bank of Nevis Limited, wishing you Merry Christmas!
Welcome back in News from the Region. Several Caribbean nationals have been granted pardons by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. The group, including 5 Jamaicans, a Trinidadian, 1 Haitian, and 6 nationals from the Dominican Republic, were convicted of minor drug and other offenses. This action has saved them from possible deportation under the Donald Trump administration's tough policy on immigrants. Cuomo said he was granting clemency to 29 immigrants who have demonstrated substantial evidence of rehabilitation and a commitment to community crime reduction. The governor said the pardons are in recognition of the immigrants' rehabilitative efforts and to remove the barriers that their criminal records present to their immigration status. To protect Caribbean and other immigrants from overly aggressive deportation tactics increasingly utilized by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agency, the government also issued executive orders to prohibit ICE arrests in New York State facilities without a warrant. The Caribbean Community CARICOM has congratulated Haiti on its 215th anniversary of independence, noting that the resilience, courage, and determination of Haitians continue to be an inspiration to all. Secretary General Erwin Larocque said the occasion is indeed cause for celebration, but it is also a timely reminder of the historic importance of the Haitian Revolution and its continued significance as a symbol of triumph over adversity in the quest for liberty, equality, and control of national destiny. In a congratulatory message, the Secretary General said, Haiti's leadership as it represented CARICOM at major hemispheric and global fora, including the G7 and the Quartet of the Community for Latin American and Caribbean Countries, CELAC, earlier this year, was highly appreciated. He said the 15-member grouping was looking forward to Haiti's continued efforts to participate fully in the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, the CSME, which allows for the free movement of goods, skills, labor, and services across the region. Haiti gained its political independence on January 1, 1804, after Jean-Jacques Dessalines, a former slave, led the revolutionaries at the Battle of Vertieres on November 18, 1803, where the French forces were defeated. And out of Guyana, the government says it's awaiting the ruling of the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Barton Scotland, on the consequences of the no-confidence motion against the administration last month. That ruling is expected on Thursday. An Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Basil Williams, said yesterday that the Speaker finds that an error has been made. He has the power to revisit his decision if he sees fit. That's any decision he sees fit. Opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo is adamant that the motion which he moved was lawfully passed, and under the Constitution, the government should resign and elections called within 90 days of the passing of the motion. On December the 21st, 33 MPs in the 65-seat National Assembly, including government backbencher Sharandas Prasad, voted in favor of the motion. But Williams said the government's position has always been that the motion was not validly carried, since the opposition needed 34 instead of 33 votes for an absolute majority. According to the Attorney General, the government has also decided on presenting the House Speaker with a legal memorandum, where he will be provided with all the available options regarding the no-confidence motion. He said the Speaker can also invite a similar document from the parliamentary opposition, after which he could make his ruling. And finally, a total of 124 Haitian migrants were apprehended early on Monday morning by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force after they were discovered in Bahamian waters. The Haitians, 107 males and 24 females, were in a 40-foot sail sloop which was intercepted around 3 a.m., approximately 8 miles south of New Providence. The migrants were all handed over to immigration officials for further questioning. The Bahamas Defense Force has apprehended or assisted in apprehending over 400 Haitian migrants in 2018. Those migrants have since been charged before the courts for illegal landing. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force said it remains committed to protecting the territorial integrity of the Bahamas and keeping borders secured. And that's it for the regional segment. When we come back, we'll bring you news from around the world. And on the international front, Kim Jong, that's North Korean leader Kim Jong Jong-un has said he is committed to denuclearization, but warned he will change course if the U.S. continues its sanctions. He made the remarks during his closely watched annual New Year's address. Last year's speech set the country on an unprecedented path of international diplomacy with South Korea and the U.S. Mr. Kim met U.S. President Donald Trump to discuss denuclearization in June 2018, but with few results so far. And the U.S. Strategic Command, which oversees America's nuclear arsenal, has apologized for a tweet that said it was ready to drop something much bigger, that's much bigger than New York Times Square Ball. The message posted on New Year's Eve was accompanied by a video showing a B-2 bomber dropping weapons. Strategic Command later deleted the tweet, saying it was in poor taste, and replaced it with an apology. The incident sparked outrage online. And the U.S. Space Agency's New Horizons probe has made contact with Earth to confirm its successful flyby of the icy world known as Ultima Thule. The encounter occurred some 6.5 billion kilometers away, making it the most distant ever exploration of an object in our solar system. New Horizons acquired gigabytes of photos and other observations during the past. Dr. Robert Massey is the Deputy Director of the Royal Astronomical Society in London.
The thing about a long way from the sun, they're less affected by the heat of the sun for that reason. So that they're in a sense much more pristine than objects like the Earth, Venus, Mars, or the worlds closer in. And that's really intriguing. We just don't know until the pictures come back.
And the Russian rescuers in the city of Magnitogorsk have pulled out an 11-month-old baby from the rubble of a block of flats hit by an explosion on Monday. The boy named Ivan has serious frostbite, a head injury and leg fractures, and will be sent for treatment in Moscow. He is said to be in a very serious condition. Danny Abbott gives us more.
Dramatic video footage showed the moment rescuers gently eased the boy out of an air pocket amid the shattered concrete and twisted metal. Somehow he'd survived nearly 36 hours in bitter temperatures as low as -29 degrees Celsius. He was dressed only in a nappy, socks and a t-shirt-like top. He's in a critical condition and has been taken to hospital, where his mother, another survivor, recognized him. Initial reports had wrongly identified him as a girl. More than 30 people are still unaccounted for.
And that's it for the international segment. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports.
With TDC. Save an instant 20% on furniture, appliances, electronics, and more with TDC Hire Purchase. Choose from the largest variety of products with quick approval, great service, and excellent prices and payment terms. Play Spin the Wheel and save even more by winning fabulous prices. Save money in your pocket to spend how you want. Everybody wins and saves with TDC Hire Purchase. You must win with TDC. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. And in sports, in cricket, India saw off Australia by 137 runs in the third test in Melbourne to take a 2-1 lead in the series. The hosts began the final day on 258 for 8, chasing an unlikely 399, but after rain delayed the start, India needed only 4.3 overs to wrap up the win. Jasprit Bumrah, who took career-best match figures of 9 for 86, had Pat Cummins edged to slip for 63 before Nathan Lyon gloved Ishant Sharma behind. The forfeit final test starts in Sydney on January the 2nd. The summary scores: India 443 for 7 declared, Pujara 106, and 106 for 8 declared, Cummins 6 for 27. Australia 151, Bumrah 6 for 33 and 261, Cummins 63, Bumrah 5 for 53. India won by 137 runs and led the series 2-1. In athletics, the World Anti-Doping Agency has been urged to stop being played by the Russians and reinstate a ban on the country's athletes. Russia was set a deadline of 31st December to hand over data from its anti-doping laboratory in Moscow, but is expected to have missed it. And United States Anti-Doping Agency Chief Travis Tigat said the episode is a joke and an embarrassment for WADA. WADA said its inspection team had been denied full access to Moscow samples. They are yet to return to Russia, and the country is now at risk of being banned once again from international events following a state-sponsored doping scandal. In tennis, Roger Federer of Switzerland beat Serena Williams USA as the two tennis greats met on court for the first time at the Hopman Cup in Australia. Federer and Belinda Bencic beat Williams and Francis Tiafoe 4-2, 4-3, 5-3 in a mixed doubles contest to secure a 2-1 win in the round-robin tie. Federer and Williams, both 37, earlier won the respective singles match. Federer and Williams have won a combined 43 Grand Slam singles titles and have spent a combined 621 weeks at world number 1. The match had been described as the most anticipated contest involving a male and female player since the Battle of the Sexes in 1973, when 39-time Grand Slam champion Billie Jean King beat former men's world number 1 Bobby Riggs in straight sets. And in some cycling news, Chris Froome will not defend his Giro d'Italia title this year, as he and fellow Briton Geraint Thomas said they will focus on the Tour de France. Froome, 33, is aiming to become only the 5th rider to win 5 tours, while Welsh Team Sky teammate Thomas, 32, won the race for the first time in 2018. Colombian Egan Bernal, 21, will lead Team Sky at the Giro in May. Froome said it was a difficult decision to skip the race. The Giro, the first of the year's 3 Grand Tours, runs from May 11th to June the 2nd, and the Tour from 6th to the 20th of July. Froome won the Giro for the first time in 2018, thanks to a spectacular 80-kilometer solo breakaway on stage 19. And that's it for sports. The weather is next. Welcome back. The weather tonight, fair to partly cloudy skies with a 40% a moderate chance of brief late night showers. Tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 60% a moderate chance of showers. The winds east-northeast at 12 to 18 knots with higher gusts over open waters. The seas, a combination of swells and northeasterly swells reaching 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 5 to 7 feet. Small craft operators and seabuilders should continue to exercise caution. And sunrise tomorrow is at 20 minutes before 7 o'clock. And that was the latest weather. And to end the VON's major news package, we take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, 2 shot news here on Nevis. And Nevis's financial services sector faces serious challenges. Regionally, Guyana government awaits ruling from Speaker of the House on no confidence motion. Internationally, King Jong-un warns of change in direction on denuclearization in New Year's address. And in sports, India wins 3rd test for 2-1 series lead over Australia. And that's how we wrap up our major news package for today, Tuesday, the 1st day of January 2019. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I'm Marcellus Lee, wishing you a pleasant evening.